Hey everyone, thanks for joining us tonight on our late night stream. I haven't streamed for a while, so I just wanted to do it. And I've got my special guest, Kurtis 47. Bring him up on the stage here. Hey Curtis, how's it going, man? What's
Hey,
been happening with you?
hey everybody. What's up, Johnny? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Tired, been working a lot just this last while back, and haven't been able to do much, in terms of streaming or putting things together. I really wanted to change my intro, but haven't had a chance to do any of that yet either. So
I'm kind of partial to that intro.
yeah, it's not too bad. That was when I had time on my hands to do that. And as you know, you're starting to discover, well, you already did discover, the making the videos takes a long time. It takes
Yeah,
a while.
it sure
And some
does.
of us, we're working for a living. Correct me if I'm wrong, but most of us are working a lot, and it's just difficult to squeeze all that extra time out.
It sure is. Yeah, especially summertime too. It's here.
Yeah, the summer, man. This trailer is so hot, man. I fell asleep yesterday. I was just relaxing, and man, I didn't think I was going to wake up. It's so hot in here. So I'm running the air conditioning tonight. Hopefully, it's not affecting what we're saying, or if you can hear me, okay.
Yeah, you sound good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But so
it's hot here too.
you had a recent trip then up north again, and did a bit of
Yeah, I got a brother that lives up in Maine. Maine's a big state. Um, and he's about 5 hours north of me in
yeah.
the middle of nowhere. I mean, I think the town has like a population of 98 or something. Um, but we went up there just for the weekend, and my mother and I stayed in this little tiny cabin on a lake. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it
you
was
said
fun. Fun. Found a lot of nonsense along the way.
you got to do a bit of boots on the ground then, I'm guessing, and took a bit of footage, I'm guessing, of that.
Yeah, I squeezed it in when I could here and there. I got a couple of short videos, some pictures, but I had a lot of family obligations. But I got some
Yeah.
goodies.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Our families and our responsibilities are always in amongst all of this stuff, and we're just trying to make our way through it, but still trying to keep our families and our friends, uh, part of our lives, right?
Yeah,
You can't really just cut everyone off,
yeah.
I mean,
You got to
just
balance it. Yeah.
yeah. But if can you share screen, or I think I have to allow you to share screen, right?
I think I just hit present. It's really
Yeah.
not very much.
No, you can get at it, right? Yeah, you can do it from your
Yeah,
side.
yeah. It's
So
not too much, but there's a couple of pictures. Boy, I just thought we're crazy. What's up, everybody? What's up, Shawnee B? Red Bricks, Eli,
yeah,
Melanie,
I guess we need to
Amelia.
call
Hi,
it the
everybody.
chat. thanks
All
for
right.
thanks for coming, everybody. Thanks for joining us here late. It's late for us, but maybe not for some of you guys. I think in Australia it's pretty late, right? But we got
Yeah, I think it's morning over there. Yeah, they're drinking
yeah,
coffee.
and Jan was here earlier. I think Mr. Snowman was here earlier. Jamie
Yeah,
Crane, Home
yeah,
Bliss,
yeah.
Shapu
Home
was
Bliss. Oh,
here,
there's Home Bliss.
and
Candy's here. Shabu is here.
Algorithm,
Yeah. Algorithm.
Algorithm, yeah,
Jeez.
and Doug was here way early.
Well,
We had,
spoiler alert. I'm a pretty boring person, but we'll see how it goes.
this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good.
All right.
Yeah. So if you want to go ahead and present,
Yeah, it's
we'll,
not much, but it's like I said. All right, present, share
some in our
screen.
chat may not be familiar with the subject that we cover, meltology, brickology. There's some of the people in the chat who might not have come across that before, but it's just another one of those lies that they've told you that things were uh, naturally formed, evolved through over time, over millions of years. That's what you've been told, but we are discovering that there are buildings in amongst these what they would call mountains, which are actually not mountains. But you can go ahead and elaborate a little bit more, Curtis, on some of that.
Yeah, did I? Am I still here?
Let me put you on the stage. There you go. Yeah, you're
I
still
think
here.
I am.
Yep. I just had to add you to the stage there, Curtis. My bad.
All right, there we go. Oh yeah, now I gotta make sure this other stuff is closed.
All right. Just need to get the infinity window. I must say you're doing very good at this, Curtis.
I mean, okay, here we go. You showed me how to do all of it, basically. Did it
All
work?
right. Infinity window.
Oh, there we go.
Do you see it up there? Yep. Okay.
I see it.
Cool.
The old infinity window.
Nice.
All right. Now I'm gonna go here. All right. Can everyone see that?
I can see it. I'm not sure
Okay.
if it's hard because I've only got one screen. I have to look it up on YouTube on my phone.
All right. Let's see. I went up to this very remote cabin. Like this is a picture of it on Google Map. I mean, it was way, way out. Nothing out there at all. It was really wild.
Yeah, pretty barren.
Yeah. Um, but let's see. I'm just gonna start off with the best one I found. Look at this one. This was on. So I'm down here by the water here, by this lake, and there's nobody like on any shore anywhere. I mean, it's really, really remote. And I found this is the best one I found.
Cool.
Look at this edge right here of the brick. You can
Yeah,
see it. Look at the on the edge of the on the edge here. You can see it like tracing up here. See it come down.
yeah. It's just
See
so
it
obvious,
stretching.
isn't it?
See it stretching on the side.
Yeah. Are those apertures, or is that just the expansion of the
I would say it was probably expansion. Yeah, it was pretty
expansion?
bubbly.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get over the fact that you could see this loop right here, like it's traveling on the side here.
Yes. It's got
And
that pattern
again, yeah, right here. See it coming
that
from
you
up
talk
here and
about.
swooping
Yeah.
down. Um, and a lot of times, a majority of the time, really, I don't see any of this stuff. And I know a lot of other people experience the same thing until you look at the pictures afterwards. And then you're like, wow, how did I miss that? And most of the time, I end up going back to get more pictures of the same thing, which I did. Took me a while to find it again because I didn't know where it was on the shore, but I found it. I
Yeah.
was gonna take it, but it was way too big. Too big for my vehicle. But yeah, I just couldn't get over this right here swooping down. So cool.
Interesting. Yeah, that pattern you're talking about shows up a lot, doesn't it?
It does, and I mean it's something I see overwhelmingly. Um, but I need to gather more more pictures and more folders on it. I need to be able to present it better. But I'm going to moving forward. I just haven't, again, kind of like you said, haven't had the time to do it yet. But I have a pretty good opinion on how I want to do it, and I'm gonna. But I kind of hold off on it because I think a lot of people don't see it, the pattern.
It'll never be perfect, Curtis. You know what I mean?
Right.
If we wait for perfection, you know, we we would never do anything if we waited for that. You know, so.
But if I can present it correctly in the way I want to, and be able to, mark things and circle things, and I just haven't had time. I just got this computer very recently, and still organizing it, and been real busy. Haven't even had time to really work on it yet. I mean, a little bit, but I'll get there. Yeah, I still can't even get over this one. There it is.
Yeah.
I feel like the brick hunter. I mean, just everywhere I go, I'm looking for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what I'm looking at. I mean, and in that sense, I feel like I can appreciate all the landscape and topography around me so I feel like I understand the event, and there's almost an appreciation just for how everything settled differently. I don't know how to say that otherwise, but just a general appreciation for the way the melt unfolded in all its different forms. I can never get over it.
Yes. I know there's people saying that it's hard to see it, and it is hard to see it. You know, when you first start out, you don't really comprehend the magnitude of the melt. You know how much happened. So,
Correct.
but the more that you study it, the more that you look into it, it starts to become clear. You know, just how devastating this event was. You know.
Yeah. I feel like I've got
maybe multiple events, Curtis. I don't know. I mean, it could have been more than one. I mean,
there could be more than one. Yes. I still lean towards one, but I mean, I don't know. Yeah, there could be multiple for sure.
I'm just trying to be fair to people who think that way. You know, we don't
Yeah,
want to.
absolutely. Yeah.
You know, we don't exclude anyone from with ideas that they have. You know.
Correct. This is just concrete I found in the woods, but that was probably from building. So there was a lot of these tipped trees over. Oh, there's a video. I'm gonna go back to it. There was downed trees everywhere.
Yeah.
And I know they had a recent storm last year, but I mean it was kind of a little much. I tried to take them in order, but underneath the downed trees, all of them, which was just great, was just this disaster. Of course.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Little
Every
bricklets.
single one of them. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
I thought that was good. All right. And these pictures are really no specific order. Oh, here's a video. Watch this.
Yeah, let's do it. You got audio on it?
Can you hear it?
I'll have to ask the chat if they can hear it. Can you guys hear the audio on this video?
Can you guys hear this? I don't know if they can hear it or not.
That's okay. The scenery's pretty good anyway, Curtis, you know?
Okay. Oh.
Is it asking you to share audio at all? When you shared it?
StreamYard is shared. Yeah, that's right. I don't remember it asking me.
There's an audio button that you might have to click. to get the audio.
Is it on this screen or back further?
Be back before you shared it. It'll be just before you shared it. But you could probably narrate it anyway, Curtis. You could narrate it.
Oh yeah, I always forget. I'm such a rookie. People can still kind of hear us.
We're just having
uh,
fun.
yeah. All right, so this is just the shoreline or whatever of this random lake, and I mean, it was just a disaster. And I mean, I know what they all are. I feel like I'm far along enough where I know what they all are, but I'm just looking for the obvious ones.
Yes, like those two.
Yeah, those
Super
were pretty
obvious.
good ones.
Yeah.
I forgot people can hear
There
me.
you go.
Yeah, there's one.
Yep. Very good. And what lake is this? Or
Boy, I don't even remember. Way up in the middle of Maine.
in Maine?
Way up. Princeton or something. My brother's okay. It's near Crawford, Maine. I can tell you that, which is pretty barren. But this is another 35 minutes, even more into the woods.
Yes. Very good.
Yeah, that's where I was this weekend.
Nice.
I brought my mother up to see my brother and his family.
Looks like a cool spot. You know what I mean? It looks like a nice spot.
It was pretty awesome. Yeah.
Love it.
Devastated shoreline for sure.
There's no lack in evidence, Curtis. We have all the evidence.
I love looking for it. It's addicting.
I guess my thing is like, we've shown so much evidence. There's millions of photographs, millions videos. It's just like, what is going to get people to see it? I guess it's kind of like
seeing and understanding are so far apart.
Yes, true.
I've gotten a few people to quote unquote see it, but even taking the next step doesn't work.
That's true. Even at work there, I've got some guys who listen, they'll listen to me talking about meltology, and they'll agree that they can see it. It's right in front of their eyes, but there's just that little disconnect, right, Curtis? Little disconnect. It's cognitive dissonance, right? Is that what we used to call it?
Deep. It's so deep. I'm so used to getting the deer in the headlights.
Yeah.
It's so common. Yeah, the indoctrination is ultra shockingly deep.
And like, I don't know how long you've been awake, let's say. I hate using that word, but for me, it's been a long time,
right.
long
time.
And you just come across people, and you get to the point where you tell them, and you just move on. You don't really wait around to find out if they're getting it or not.
Correct.
You just kind of move on.
Here it is. If you want to ask any questions, and they definitely never do.
No.
Ever.
Rarely.
Like, what? Yeah. We forget. How, especially when you're in it for a while, and you forget how far out from normal we are at this point. And it's when I'm telling someone new, it's like such baby steps. I just cut the steps in half and half and half. And
and I don't know about you, Curtis.
Level is so low.
I'm not gonna ask you to say
pretty
what
much
you
it.
do for a living, but I'm a mechanical engineer. Okay, that's what I do for a living. So, you're I'm not dumb. You know what I mean? I That's what I do. Uh, I'm not asking you to share what you do, but I'm sure it's something technical where you're actually using your brain to do things. Uh, and people assume that you're dumb. Like they assume that you haven't thought this through and you haven't analyzed it. Whereas as an engineer, dude, I analyze everything. You know how that goes.
Right. You're a
I mean,
mechanical engineer. That's right. I remember you saying that. Actually, when I
yeah,
was out of high school and I went into indoctrination camp for the following 4 years, but I went in as
yes,
mechanical engineering, proceeded to fail right out after my freshman year, but went back and finished it.
okay. So, like I say,
Look at these
you're
are
right.
old.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just throwing them up there. They're the folder.
is that
Kairos.
Kairos? Yeah,
Yeah,
sweet,
that's the day he gave me the T car brick.
nice. I do like it when Kairos goes through the logistics of some of this stuff.
Yeah,
The
yeah, I
the
love it.
transportation of the bricks, and those those wooden ladders that they use to try to get the bricks up onto the scaffolding. that's that's hilarious to me. You know,
He digs deep into the construction nonsense. Yeah, it's
yeah,
great.
I like
Very,
that stuff.
very. He gets very detailed on it too.
Yeah, it's very funny to me.
I was living in California for 12 years, and I moved back to New Hampshire last year, and I got
Okay,
to meet Kairos. Like, I think I squeezed it in a week before I left. I didn't know if it was going to happen or not, and it did.
yeah,
So I got to hang out with him for a few hours one rainy day.
cool.
We just went,
He's a superstar now, right? He's a star. He's on the radio now, right?
yeah, he's yeah, yeah, he's
What
done
was
a
that?
couple of the big time radio shows. Yeah,
Yeah, I forgot what you called it, but yeah, the big time radio. He's a star now. Oh yeah, plain as day, Curtis.
yeah. I mean, we were just driving
Is
around because it was a rainy day. We didn't know what to do when we found this crazy foundation, and it's. I mean,
interesting.
it's pretty destroyed. And right here for sure.
Yeah.
It all is though. I'm not going to get into
Oh
it, but
yeah.
it all is. It all
Well,
is.
I mean,
Boom.
at this level,
It's all the flower pattern. It's over.
most of the
And it's over. It's over and over again.
most of
Everywhere.
the people watching tonight our stream already know. You know what I mean, Curtis? They already know what to
Correct.
look. You know what I mean? We're trying to get it to where we can
I know.
present this to people who don't know, who just have no clue.
It's
And make
almost like we getting to the point where we need to occasionally have like introductory streams.
yeah, that's
Because I
it.
mean,
That's
sometimes
it.
we'll go on for 3 and 4 hours of just super duper advanced, like
Yeah, and people just don't get it because they tune out
evidence.
because they hear the complicated stuff that we talk about, and then
And they
they just
drop
switch
right
off.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, but Shapu has some good stuff he did recently, like real simple videos. Explaining it, and I think Jan was starting to do that too, which is
Yeah.
nice.
Yes.
You
Yeah. I
know,
love those.
it's got to be simple. It's got to be simple.
Correct. And that's going to reach people.
Yeah.
Those kind of videos. Geez, I haven't even really looked at these in a long, long time. But yeah, no shortage around circles here.
All right.
They're everywhere.
All
Dude,
over
they're
the place.
everywhere. Once your eyes train for it, it's just they're all interacting,
Yes.
which I haven't figured out how to explain yet.
Well,
It's
the
the way I
plasma.
see it. They're all interacting at the same time, and it's just circle after circle after circle after
Yeah.
circle. They're everywhere. It's overwhelming. Circle. This is a super obvious
My
one.
mind goes to the plasma technology, Curtis, and I'm sure you're familiar with plasma cutting technology,
Yeah,
where
absolutely. Yeah.
gases and electricity combined, and it has that like cyclone effect. And there might
Right.
have been multiple of those all over that face, that rocket face that you just showed. You know,
Right.
so I'm
It
not
was
saying I'm not being definitive about that, Curtis. I'm just saying that that's what my
right.
mind thinks about. You know, so
Right. Um, yeah, I mean, I just see them everywhere. I mean, I see a big, huge one right here
hmm
with a center right here,
yep, I'm seeing it.
and it's made up of all smaller ones. As I say, I'm not going to talk about it, and then I talk about it. Here's one right here.
Right.
It's
I know you.
overwhelming. They're everywhere.
I
They're
know that
everywhere.
you want to put together a more concise
I do.
presentation about that in the future. So yeah, we'll just brush over it for now.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Yeah,
But yeah, this was a pretty decimated wall. This was pretty fun. This was just foundation just off the side of the road. We just pulled over.
nice.
That was pretty
Wow,
awesome.
some cool
This
stuff,
is
man.
like February last year.
Okay.
There's a close up of something we found.
And this was in Northern California. Is that right?
This was in probably he's in Sonoma or Napa. This is wine country in Northern
Oh, okay.
California.
Okay.
Probably Napa, wine country.
I see he's got his coat on.
Yeah, yeah. It was
Kind of
late
chilly.
February. Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, like I said, I haven't seen these in a long time. Look at the difference.
Nice.
All the same thing.
Good transitional stuff. I love the transitional pictures more than anything.
Me, yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
You cannot explain that. I'm sorry. I mean, it's just not. Yeah, it's impossible. I'm sorry. It is impossible to explain it.
There's a lot to be learned. Like I said,
Yeah.
not necessarily this one, but some of those walls where there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on. There are repeating patterns, and there is a pattern,
Interesting.
and yeah, this is
Is that
just
a
some
one, or
over a
did some?
brook.
Is that 1901, or did someone add that one later?
And we were looking at it. It kind of looked pretty legit. I mean, I use the word legit loosely.
I
I mean,
guess.
it did fit the 1902, but I mean, especially it being 1902 too. I mean, I don't know if I know
Yeah.
there's a lot of followers of the Phoenix event, but it being 1902, we got a kick out of that. It's just over some little brook. Yeah,
Nice.
just a tiny brook. I mean, how much work is this?
Right. I know. Just
Look
for
at the
that.
block. Yeah, just for
Dude.
the small army. But look at the blocks.
Yeah.
Square here, pretty square
It would
here. A lot of action
take
going on here, but it's the same thing. Go ahead.
you'd need 4 men to lift one of those blocks. You know.
Yeah, I'd
Just
say,
it's just
and
like
they'd be hurting.
yeah, you still might not be able to do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
But
used to do that when I was younger. My dad we used to get boulders out of the fields in the potato fields. Those things are
okay,
heavy, dude. I
I
mean,
I can imagine.
well, I know what weight that thing is right there.
It's not easy to move around,
Mm-mm. Nope.
especially to position and shape. I mean, give me a break.
Yep. And you
But
had
they're
to
all,
have mortar under it, right? You had to put mortar under before you put it
yeah,
down there. So,
yeah. And then you're trying to level it, and it's so heavy. I mean, the
dang.
narrative is so obnoxious from a construction standpoint. It's so heavy that it would just, I mean, it would squish mortar out. Nothing would work.
No, there's no way.
None of it
No
would
way.
work, especially the round stones, the bag of potatoes, like Dance calls it. It's
Yes.
impossible. You can't build. It's not possible. They're not going to
No.
stack.
No.
But these are all the same right here. I mean, it's a quote unquote granite block. You can see all kind of it's popping out right here. And then it started going to 3D right here. They're all the same, similar block. They've turned into a similar block, but now they're moving on to the next stage and they're starting to bubble out. Yeah.
Yes.
This block is the same as this, except this is a step or two ahead.
And
Starting to bubble out.
The ones beneath would have bubbled out too, but they've been compressed down by the one on top. That's basically why they're not bubbling out. Well, they're bubbling out on the sides, but not on the top. Yeah.
I feel like the orientation of the brick had a lot to do with the way they X factored.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Rows stacked in a different orientation could possibly give you those rows of granite in the middle of buildings where they have those rows of granite. I think orientation had a lot to do with the transformation.
I believe you're right.
Especially on windowsills.
Yeah.
I'm sold on that. I'm sold on it now. I'm in Manchester, New Hampshire all the time. It's an old mill city. Brick insanity. And they all have the granite sills, which I believe were just.
Another thing about that is, Kurtis, if there was other materials, like foreign materials beside the bricks, they might absorb the electricity, or at least dampen it, a little bit. So there might not be as much in some areas. So it kind of makes sense that the materials around it has a factor on what happens. Yeah.
It was. The X Factor was very efficient. I mean, their whole buildings were out here. I mean, massive, humongous brick, like mill houses or whatever they want to call them.
Yeah.
And every single windowsill is complete. It's granite. But I've seen other ones where you can tell. You know what they are. Sorry, I keep forgetting that I'm running the show here. But look, yeah, see the vineyards in the back, Johnny? Or everybody? Wine country. Sorry.
No, it's cool, man. This is cool.
All right, that's hanging out with Kairos. I mean, I just have a bunch of other random folders. I don't know. Is that what I'm doing? Keep rolling, or what are we doing?
Yeah, man. If you want.
All right.
I really just wanted to, get you rolling, man. You know what I mean? You're doing great.
All right, look. This is when I drove across. I got to drive across the country from California to New Hampshire. And there's 1,500 pictures, but I only have a couple hundred here. And I still to this day, I'm so thankful that I was aware of the melt going across.
Yeah.
So thankful.
That's
oh man,
one
what
thing.
a totally different experience.
It's so frustrating because many years ago, I visited places that if I'd had my eyes opened, could have done some great boots on the ground at the time.
Right, in hindsight, yeah, I know.
Just did not know or didn't see it at the time.
All right. I don't really know. It's a lot of just nonsense because I kind of just got this computer, so I'll just fly through them and stop at ones that might be good. Here's my Toyota Highlander was packed so high. It was outrageous. I mean, this is even my passenger seat. But cool. Anyways, great experience driving across, especially knowing I was so excited knowing about the melt, what was to come. And especially I was going to go through the middle of the country, but there was a huge snowstorm, so I couldn't get over the pass in Tahoe. So I had to change my plans last minute and go south, which I'm still so thankful for again, because I got to go through Arizona, New Mexico. Yeah. New Mexico is my favorite state.
Nice.
All right, this is probably just a bunch of nonsense.
Did you get up to Did you get up to Moab yet, Kurtis? Were you up in there in that area yet?
I did not. Nope.
That was fascinating. I love that.
Yeah, there's me leaving.
I did have my eyes opened in Moab this time, and man, it's just so obvious that it's just a building.
there's some areas that, I mean, I guess they don't even want to talk about them. They're too obvious. They want people talking about Giza, Egypt. That's all they ever talk about. Or
Yes,
Stonehenge,
yes,
or one of 5 locations that they're
right.
going to continuously talk about. Oh, there's my
See the chemtrails there, man. That's a lot of chemtrails, bro.
I think that's why I took the picture.
You know,
Yeah. Oh, what are these
dude.
round ones? Look at these ones. Yeah, that's Bakersfield. I'm going backwards here. Nah, I don't have any of the good ones from driving across yet. I have London Bridge. This was in Lake Havasu, Arizona. I put a couple short videos up, but these are the pictures.
Now, what's your thoughts on this? Did they move this thing, or was it already there?
Okay, so the narrative is it was in London and it was built in the 1830s. And someone, I mean, they pushed the narrative. It's so up to date. It's just outrageous. It's supposedly someone purchased it in 1968.
Yes,
And right, I mean, they're pushing it. I mean,
bro. I don't
1968.
think so, dude.
And they like itemized, like, and I looked it up before I went. I looked it up, and I looked it up again recently. And originally they had said they itemized like the whole bridge. I'm pretty sure they said that. I mean, they itemized it, shipped it across, and rebuilt it for tourism. But now it says but they still says, Wikipedia still says that they itemized it, but only the outside part, which is still just really ridiculous. I can't tell what's a video and what's a picture.
I
think that's a video.
It's hard to believe that they would have rebuilt that entire structure. You know, that's just insane.
It's overwhelming, just like everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, even probably these. Again, I haven't seen these in forever.
Right.
Original, I mean, probably.
I mean, it kind of does look like Buckingham Palace. I've been at Buckingham Palace, and
have you?
Yeah, I mean, I was there. I had to go through immigration when I was coming over here, Curtis. You know, so I had to go to London. Didn't like it.
Okay.
I really don't like London, but yeah, they had similar kind of gates to what you're seeing there. You know,
just so, I don't know, just so outrageously nice.
Yeah.
And again, I keep seeing this. I feel like it's being depicted.
Yes.
We're not going to go there, but
the pattern
like it's being depicted.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
This is just. Yeah, I haven't seen these in forever. I mean, this is probably definitely melt right here. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
See a lot of lions. I mean, even in my area in New England, there's a lot of like wealthy homes, you know, old school homes. I mean,
right.
And they got the lions that made it through. Look at, I mean, it was just ridiculous. It definitely did not get itemized and shipped across.
If you go into the Masonic mythology for the royal family, they think that they are descendants of King Solomon, which would be the lineage of David, which is the lions, right? The lion is David, so that's why they have that on there. That's what they say, you know, and that's what gives them the right of kings, you know, the right to rule the world, the entire world. That's what they think.
Okay.
They're of that lineage. Yeah. So I don't know if you've looked into that stuff much, you know, but that's where my journey began, was looking into those kind of things, Curtis, all those years ago. That was probably 98, 99, you know.
Unbelievable. I still can't even get over it. Yeah.
But there's a lot. We didn't have meltology. We didn't have flat earth. We didn't have any of that stuff. But what we did have was there was like evolution versus creationism debates that were going on. And yeah, there was a lot of people doing work on that side. which helped us to see it. And then you would tell
Right.
other people, and they would keep searching, and then find out more stuff. It's been a long
Right.
journey. It's been a long road. That's all I know.
I can't even 26 years. I can't even imagine how sauced up with indoctrination my brain was at that point. Just
Well,
insanity.
I was glad I got woke up, Curtis, because I was able to raise my children without vaccinating them, without saying
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I didn't send them to school. That
So
we
awesome.
homeschooled them. They're all smart. They're all healthy. None of them died. They're all very social. They're very friendly, not like they tell you. So
Right, right,
we
right.
we fought against the stream, Curtis. To do it. So
Well, kudos to you. I got a lot of respect for you for that. I'm sure that was not an easy task, all those things you just listed
it's
off.
taken a lot out of us. I can tell you that.
I'm not
It was
used to
worth
doing
it.
online, so I keep
It wa-
like pausing on a picture and like
oh, no problems.
daydreaming.
But
Honestly, these this pattern here, these lines, I
yeah,
I see a lot in highway overpasses here by me. Very similar to this. I'm getting
gotcha.
pretty. I'm starting to question a lot of stuff that I never thought I would question in terms of
Yes.
what made it through and what didn't. And I mean, little by little, it's just getting more and more. I mean, recently Pants did a video where he's showing the retaining wall that's under the melt. I mean, and it looks like a retaining wall that you buy at Home Depot, but I have had similar thoughts around me. I've definitely stood in front of a couple of yards and confused because I see melt on either side, and I see the
Yes.
flow of the melt, and I see that, and it's really old looking retaining wall, but it's still a quote unquote retaining wall. That's what it looks like. Um,
Yeah.
so he
Uh,
said he saw similar things, and I mean that's where we start when people start making. So now I'm starting to question certain retaining walls.
yes. And when Dino started pointing out on the stream about the highways being built on top of the existing melt, I hadn't seen that before.
Yeah,
My eyes were opened again. So how much of this stuff is just reusing
yeah,
existing structures? You know,
yeah.
even these big, that they supposedly build, they're probably already existing. I don't know. That's what
Yeah,
I
I
don't.
mean, at this point, like I said, everything I question, I'll think about it for a while and I'll look and I'll gather my own evidence. And ultimately, almost every time, I end up being like, well, that made it through the event too. And
Yes,
that's bricks too. I
yes.
mean, that ends up being the answer most of the time.
Most of the
Um,
time. Now there might be a fascia on it. There might be a concrete fascia, on top of it, where they've kind of made it look pretty again. But it seems like they've just reused the old structures, though.
yeah, I mean, I've lost all respect for the interstate highway system. I'm right there with the interstate highway system with all the crazy buildings. I mean, I'm at the point now where I kind of believe that they were all there, all of it. I mean, I
Yeah.
even some points of it, because here in New England, we have, I'm going to do a video on this too eventually. We have a lot of pavement that's like almost white. And I remember thinking about this my whole life, even before I woke up, is thinking, it's like, wow, these roads never get paved. I mean, they're not blacktop. They're kind of white. Um,
Yeah.
not like they blacktop roads today with pavement. It's not, and it's different, and it has again it has pattern in it,
Yeah.
um, which really gets my brain turning. I mean, I just think of a cobblestone road that's been melted and fused together, and I do believe that a certain signature, the X factor, is black pavement looking material for certain.
Yeah.
I'm certain of that.
I
Um,
did have a theory a while back there, Curtis, about efflorescence. I don't know if you've looked much into efflorescence and how that happens,
mm-mm.
but with moisture. If there's moisture in a certain climate, you'll get white coming out of the uh, bricks or concrete or whatever it was, and it'll become whiter, you know. And then in
Okay.
a drier climate, it doesn't do that. So you'd get red, like in Moab, you know, places like Moab. It's very a dry climate, whereas in Japan, they're getting like what looks like white all over their uh,
Right.
uh,
Right.
rocks. I guess, you know, but they're bricks. They were bricks at one point, you know.
Right.
I think it's got to
That's interesting.
everything has
You
to
should
do with
put
it, Curtis. You know,
you should put some info on that on your page.
I I'm gonna try to do a video on it, but it's like you said though, it's all these different materials around this stuff when it was happening had a different effect, you know, in different areas. Like you
Yeah.
got
I
granite,
mean,
you know.
I'm getting to the point where uh, I pretty much think like Manchester, New Hampshire is kind of like the city around here, and it's 98% X Factor foundations. I mean, the whole
Yeah,
city, all the parks, everything, the roads, the old buildings, all the mills, the whole city, the entire effing city was
yeah.
there. The whole thing, the roads, the layout, the footprint. Um, yeah, I mean,
I mean, if
recently
you,
I feel like there was the event.
yeah,
This is really how I feel right now. I feel like there was the event. I feel like there was. Sorry, I keep daydreaming. I put my hat here to show you how big, just for size.
that's
I feel like there was. I feel like there was an event.
cool.
I feel like there was a massive, very organized chain of command, uh, a managed, very, very organized that possibly took years to clean this joint up after what happened.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Uh, and I almost feel like there's a lot of evidence here in New England, especially where there's all the foundations are X factored, but the homes are. It's like I started thinking for a while, did the wood make it through? Because the houses that are built on the X factored foundations, even that woodwork is still beyond what we were capable of. Because they're grand, nice, and so you have this X factored foundation with a grand wooden house on top of it. So you get kind of confused in it.
Yeah,
Did the home make it through, even if the wood is impervious to the frequency and electricity? It's like that much heat and that much going on. The home made it through. So that still confuses me to this day. So that being said, I feel like
yeah,
there was the event. There was a massive cleanup, massive,
yeah.
way organized
Oh yeah.
managers and crews and had to be, I
Now
think.
the one
Uh,
thing I would say about that might be that the wood would not be as conductive, you know, with the
cor-
electricity.
cor- correct.
So that may have survived because it wasn't melted. You know, it didn't get melted.
Correct. Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
You know, I'm
definitely
just throwing
thought
that
about.
out there, Curtis. Just
Yeah,
throwing that
absolutely.
out there. But
Uh, we've thought about that. A lot of people, a lot of us have brainstormed about it in chat rooms too. I mean,
yeah,
bones,
I
bones
bones. Interesting.
made it
Yes.
through the event. I mean, the whole body melted away, but the bones survived. I mean, I think that's pretty
Yeah.
clear. That's a puzzle piece. Sorry, again, I keep. It's been a long
That's
day.
okay,
Sorry.
bro. But that there's a that
Um,
statue that Dino showed with the old lady. It's an old lady with her finger is kind of like almost melted off, you know, and
right,
uh,
right.
you know that one's interesting to me. You know how that survived. You know,
It's
it's just
just so fascinating what made
isn't
it
it?
through, what didn't, and I'm getting to the point with the more I see, especially in like the city like Manchester, New Hampshire, the more I see, the more I just feel like, okay, I'm just literally walking on exactly what was here. Exactly what was here. The bridge, I've lost all respect for the bridges, the on and off ramps of the highways. I mean, you know what? I'm going to drop that. Like I said, it's been a long day for me. Sorry. Well, what did I just do? All right. I'm still sharing screen though, right?
Who's acting like jackwagons in the chat?
What happened? I want to
I don't
show you
know.
guys one thing that's super crazy. This
Okay,
is
go
what
ahead.
got me started on my whole node thing. Is my screen still sharing?
Yes. Yeah, you're sharing.
Okay. All right. This is what got me. So, and I see a lot of other people doing it too. Like, you can get totally lost in Google Maps in terrain, especially in terrain. So I started seeing, I love macro. I started seeing patterns here. Like right here. Maybe it's got to be on. Bear with me. Okay, see, I started marking them out. I feel like these have something to do with the big picture, moving energy. Like as the circuit board side of the whole picture. And I don't know if I'm going to remember where it was. I might have to do it another day.
Hey, keep going a second, Curtis. I gotta do something. I'll be right back.
All right. Everyone's like, what are you doing? I don't remember where it was. This is it. Okay. So, like, I see a circle right here. Right here. I don't know if anyone else sees it. And that's like zoomed pretty far out. See it? And see, then I have the heart in the way. I don't know how to get rid of that, but all right. I see a circle there. And every time in the middle of these circles, it's like I always see, it's almost like I said, everyone's like, stop talking about nodes. I always see this pattern. One, it's like a post on a battery. 1, 2, 3, 4. On all these hearts. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you see this. It's always like a point here like this, and another point coming up like this. Is this the right one? Oh, it is. It is. Okay. 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 So in the dead center of this, right, here's our, I think this has something to do with the movement of energy, old world movement of energy, because we're in terrain mode right now. Do you guys see, why does I keep doing that? Oh, because I'm going over the heart. So if you zoom in too far, it disappears. But there's like a chain link right here. It's right there. And look, there's another chain link right here. Okay? For sure. And that thing's connected to like a staple. It looks like a staple. This is terrain mode. So this is like the landscape. So there's like a staple here. There is a giant like chain link right here. And then there's this thing connecting them. And this giant chain link. We'll zoom in a little bit more. It might clear up, but sometimes it disappears. This giant chain link is coming right out of this right here. So I know everyone thinks I'm crazy. There's a big chain link there. It goes here. It goes to this chain link. It goes to our staple. And what does our staple do? Look at the staple. So it's coming out of this reactor. To me, this is like a reactor. It's coming out via this delivery system. It's coming up here. It's going to this. This little middle section here just goes right to the middle of this chain link, which goes to the staple. And where does the staple go? The staple goes right into these circles on these road. I've been waiting to show people this. Chain link or reactor. Chain link. Off to the next chain link right here, which is connected to this delivery staple, which is hiding, which is connected to these two ovals on this street, which just blew my mind and still blows my mind. Does anyone see that?
Mm-hmm.
Are you back, Johnny?
It's like you said, Curtis. You know, you need to do a little bit of a presentation. More concise. I can see it. I can see it, but I'm not sure if it's that easy to see.
Look at it right there.
I see it. I mean, it seems
big. This link is harder to see, but it's there.
Yeah.
Goes to here, to this guy, and just the fact that this big 3-sided thing lands right in the end of these two drove me crazy. It still does. All right, we'll get out of Google Map now.
Oh. Looks like it's just me. I think you kicked yourself out, Curtis. So if you just click on the link again, I'll let you back in again. But yeah, Curtis is doing a bit of research in that and that area, looking at that pattern that he's seeing a lot. And we all have our own ideas of what's happening. And I would just like to see a little bit more about that. So hopefully at some point, maybe Curtis can maybe do a bit of a presentation on that. I didn't click him out, but I think Curtis kicked himself out. So, but I don't want to stay on too long tonight anyway, because I got work tomorrow. And I really appreciate Curtis coming on. And if he doesn't come on in the next 5 minutes, I'm probably just going to end the stream. But I don't have too much. Oh, there you go. Hey, bud. Yeah. Kick yourself out.
On pictures I feel like I almost forget, and I feel like I'm watching it, and I'm showing the pictures, so pausing on pictures, and I got to get better at it.
Yeah.
And clicking off and whatever.
Yeah. It just, dude, when I first started it was like I didn't know what to do. Especially if you want to have drops and stuff, like if you want to have like little drops, there's a section where you can do that in the StreamYard where you can set them up, drop them. So I'll show you that stuff when we get there if you want to do that. But I'm not going to stay on too long tonight, Curtis, because
I got to work tomorrow also. Yeah. And that was a bunch of older pictures I haven't seen myself in a while. That was cool.
Yeah, but that was good. And I just wanted to do a stream tonight because I hadn't done one in a while. And also you had some new stuff to show, and it was good talking to you again. So
yeah, I appreciate you having me on, man. Wow. I feel like I'm on the late night show with Johnny.
The late night show, yeah.
They're like, you got a band and everything? Are we going to do a top 10 list?
Well, my band is just this recording that I've done, a pre-recording. So, other than that, no. But yeah, so anyway, everyone have a good night, and thanks for coming. And I'm sure we'll do it again, Curtis, and hopefully we'll have more stuff to show.
Yeah, that was fun. Wow. All right. I was pretty nervous, but yeah, thanks for having me on. That was fun.
So everybody have a good night, and I'm just going to play my little outro, and that'll be the end of the show. Well, that was great, pretty good, bro.
Yeah, that was fun, man. I'm just not used to being on, and I keep
Yeah.
spacing out. And on top of that, I may